Welcome to Sound Mind International. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever you might be watching this from. This is Sound Mind International. And today in part 8, the title is Remember Not the Former Things. We're going to be taking our anchor scripture from the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 18 to 19. And it reads, Do not remember the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a road in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Whenever you try to enter a new season, the devil always, in his subtlety, tries to make you remember embarrassing, degrading things from the past. And if you're not sensitive, you will find yourself fighting people. But as you know, you were not fighting people, you're fighting against principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. And he will often use people or someone from your past to make you remember scenarios, words, experiences, and a character that is no longer befitting of who you're becoming or what God is trying to do with you in this new season. Now, God forgives you, but unfortunately, people envious of your glory, and the devil and his agents, they like to go fishing. They fish, the person that you used to be 5 years ago. They fish, about things, that you, or things that you said 5 years ago. They fish on a character, or your behavior and mannerisms that you used to do 5 years ago. Saying, do you remember when you used to go clubbing? Do you remember when you used to drink? Do you remember when you used to snap people? You used to act like this or you used to say like that? And you know what? Shut up and stop fishing and gossiping about former things. And if you're not careful, it's all an attempt of the devil to make you mentally self-sabotage or miss what God is trying to do in your new season, because under the heaven, there is a time and season for everything. In this new season, we are going to be breaking the power of the past. Now, there's nothing more powerful than you owning your mistakes and saying, I did that. I take responsibility. I cannot change the past, but I'm a different person now. And the people who prophesied and told you it's your new season for financial, business, and marital breakthrough, and you're crossing over to your promised land. I mean, they were not false prophets. But those words or prophecies that you were supposed to wage a good warfare with them, because if those prophecies were biblically correct, biblically accurate, they would not have returned to you void. Because what does it say in the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 11? So shall my word that goes forth from my mouth, it shall not return to me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, that it shall prosper in the thing for which I sent it. Now, these prophecies, they go forth and look for an opportunity for a person, or need I say, a mentality that is fitting. Remember not the former things. Remember not your divorce. Remember not the abuse. Remember not your harlotry of the past. Remember not the experience. Remember not the failure. Remember not the shame. You gotta be careful with your mind. Each time the devil drags your mentality backward because he doesn't want your mind to embrace the new thing that God is doing in your life, because in each season, it requires your mind to be renewed. For each new season, you cannot go into a new season. You cannot go into a new year with that past mentality. It requires a renewed mindset, and you can afford to have that pedestrian mentality of I get money today, I squander it tomorrow. You cannot afford to have an expired and dull mentality. You cannot afford to have a fearful or fear of the unknown mentality in this season, and you can afford to have that whatever happens mentality, because behold, I do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. And let me tell you, let nobody cheat you, because this new thing begins with a renewed mentality. First, it shall spring forth. Now, This is why certain prophecies for 2021 or for next year comes and they still meet you with the year 2000 or 1999 mentality. Prophetically, you should be possessing a land flowing with milk and honey, but mentally, like the children of Israel, you were still thinking about your leeks, your onions, and your steak that you used to eat in Egypt, forgetting that you were slaves. Because that mentality of creativity, of reasoning, of discipline, of responsibility is not there. So God sends the prophecies again, 2, 3, 4 years. They still meet you with that same mentality. Do not remember the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Ways to break the power of the past is to get counseling. Now, these are things like maybe you went through some trauma, post-traumatic stress disorder, or you're finding it difficult to process certain life experiences. Personally, the Sound Mind has been a journey. I have been enrolling in some counseling because part of empowering other people to change their mentality, to change their thinking, I gotta work on my sound mind too. I gotta, change my thinking too. I gotta take care of my mind before, encouraging other people to take care of their mind. So I would suggest power breaking the past. If there's some things that you find you're kind of like dragging certain attitudes or experiences over, you don't want to be dragging that over to your new season, because you're just going to end up recycling season after season after season, and it's unnecessarily painful when it can be resolved through counseling. Next is humility. Honestly, humbleness, because you need that humility, because he gives grace to the humble. Because sometimes some experiences, okay, now you know better, but because you know better, but guess what, God knows a lot more better than you. So humility to receive that grace, and honestly being merciful. Blessed are the merciful, because they shall obtain mercy. It's understanding that, when you see somebody go a season that you used to go through, it's understanding, you know what, let me extend a little bit more grace, a little bit of mercy, because I was once there in their shoes. So I can understand what it's like to be in that particular season, to be in the season of waiting, to be in the season of preparation. So it's extending that mercy unto others so that you can reap it back, and embracing and owning your past without shame, and working towards a colorful and productive future. Get books that will help you change your negative thinking about yourself, and utilize that pain, that shame in your past season, and transforming it into purpose. I want to thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. And I hope that today's sermon has helped you kind of change and maybe reassess your mentality in this new season, to avoid recycling an old mentality into your next season. And Jesus Christ is coming soon. But where will he find you? Where will he find your thoughts, your mind? Will you be ready? Will you be sensitive to the new thing he's doing in your life in this season? Or will you miss, like the foolish virgins, your hour of visitation? Maybe not be so. But thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for tuning in. Until next time, keep thinking.